The following vlog you're about to hear is 100% completely accurate. Unless it's not, then we were just totally killing. Fuck.
We were killing.
We were killing. True believers. You're keeping that in. I saw you flag it. You keep it in.
Yeah, we'll see.
True believers, welcome to your now weekly-ish, until further notice, until I decide otherwise, show. Professional Casual Network presents, wait, did I roll it wild? A Marvel Crisis Protocol vlog. I am Chuck, that is Tim, and we have Dani here again.
Hello.
We're tired, we have a lot to talk about, so we're just going to not even, you know what? No shenanigans this week.
Yeah.
Zero shenanigans. Put it on the board. But do head over to patreon.com/professional casual if you want to help support us here. Also head over to builtbar.com. Get yourself some tasty supplement. Can I show these?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Oh my God, I'm so excited
You
about
heard it
this.
here first, fam.
Yeah,
Oh.
we got it. We got ASMR here for you. We've got Built Bar Puffs in the house. Churro marshmallow.
Yeah.
And banana cream pie marshmallow. Very hyped. I'm not even a huge Puffs fan, and I'm really excited about trying those. They are so stupid good. Head over to builtbar.com. Use promo code professional casual, all one word, at checkout. Get yourself 10% off. And yes, that does stack with their weekly sales. You could get easily 25% off your first case.
Yeah.
We highly recommend checking it out.
Yes.
The churro ones taste like Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, they do.
Like ice
Fuck
cream
me up,
almost.
yes.
It is, yeah.
That's
It's
dope.
real good.
I'm really
Super
excited.
hyped. And of course, head over to Raise Energy. Go to
Rep Sports, I think.
yeah, or just click the link in the description below. Use promo code professional casual at checkout. Get those tasty energy drinks.
Yeah.
It's my go-to now. It's the only company that I support of an energy drink fashion.
I got my second vaccination shot on Monday and have literally been dead
Fair.
since then. Except for I've been having a Raise Energy every morning and then at lunch and then a little bit after lunch to keep going. And honestly, it has kept my corpse animated. So
Excellent. Excellent.
That should be their tagline, like Raise
Yes.
Energy, animate your corpse.
yeah.
Get at us, Raise. You know what I mean?
Right? Like, you can hire me for marketing shit. Let's go.
100%. Of course, also head over to BeaterDragonGames.online. The only place that helps us take out the trash over at Elite 8 Showdown, but here also gives us money. If you spend money and use promo code professional casual at checkout, you'll get free shipping domestically.
Mhm.
Unless you spend over $100, then you get 10% more shipping.
Yeah.
We're still doing that?
We
Yes.
are.
Oh my
still offering
God.
that.
We
Okay.
until we're out of the extra shipping, we will keep doing it. But that barrels, we're scraping the end here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and head over there, get your Pathfinder stuff, get your Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff, get your Magic the Gathering stuff, get your board games, get your RPGs, whatever you may need. The site's up, baby.
Yeah.
Go check her out.
There is a site.
Yeah,
That is accurate.
check her out. You know what I'm saying?
Check it out.
Guys, we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
We have so much to talk about. We
Let's jump
got
in.
a literal load dropped on us.
Yeah.
Now, full disclaimer, depending on when this airs, we are in an undisclosed location looking at things that we probably are not actually allowed to look at yet.
That's what makes it. I like
Unless
it when
this
it's
video
naughty.
is out after that, then we totally...
It's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, legit.
But it might be naughty.
It may be naughty. Check out our OnlyFans to see these sweet things that we have here.
Yeah.
But let's talk about games played over at twitch.tv/professional casual network,
Mhm.
Monday, 7 p.m. every week. What happened?
We had a little bit of a transference of standard rolling.
Okay.
Dan, unfortunately, was afflicted by some good old Tim France dice and was rolling heavy blanks and skulls.
Sure.
Was spiking super hard on defense rolls for the first half. But yeah, just unfortunately had some just really poor luck. Made really no misplays, played the team well.
Right.
But rolls unfortunately decided it. He played X-Men. I played Spider Foes.
Mm-hmm. How'd you like that?
I like him. I love Kingpin. He's probably one of my favorite models. I think he might even be undercosted. I think he's an absolute powerhouse. being able to automatically stagger whether you do damage or not, whether you roll a wild or not,
That's awesome.
for only 3 energy is really good.
Yeah.
And he can't suffer collisions with other players. He has inured to pain. He just has a lot going on that I think he's a really solid character all around.
Agreed.
But we played the Inhumans, the Terrigen Mists crisis threat, as well as
The hammer one.
the Hammers. Yes, yep, the Worthy. And yeah, it was a good game. There were some close parts. There were some not close parts. Nothing probably went as planned for either of us, honestly. But
Fair.
it was a good game.
Did you find yourself ever using the affiliation ability with Spider-Foes?
I did. I used it early and often, and I always turned a shield into a shield.
Fair.
So there was no positive momentum with that particular affiliation ability. I think it's overcosted, and it doesn't do.
It doesn't do a ton.
No.
It's the reverse Wakanda.
If it was Pierce, if it was pay 1 to Pierce,
Right.
I think that would be a lot better. But paying 1 for a dice roll that could just do nothing, I don't know.
Right.
Seems,
That's too much up in the air.
Yes.
right. Especially when so many other affiliations just give you a reroll
Right.
without paying for it, just automatically on every roll. I think it's number one
Yeah.
overcosted, and the throughput's just not there for Spider-Foes.
I think until we get Mysterio and what's his nuts? Carnage
Yeah.
out, I don't think we're going to. I mean, they're still bottom tier most of the time
Correct.
anyway. If I was going to tier them, I'd put them at the bottom.
Right.
But I hope that box is just loaded with tactics cards, specifically just for Spider-Man,
Yes.
because otherwise they have one, and that's
And it's not even them. There are 0 Spider-Foes
Oh, is it?
specific. Yeah.
okay.
Best Laid Plans is unaffiliated.
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't
So is
realize
Blind
that.
Obsession. So
Interesting.
you can just.
Right, I knew Blind
Yep.
Obsession was. I
Yep.
thought Best Laid Plans was Spider-Foes.
I thought it was too, and I was looking on one of the Marvel Crisis Protocol databases when I was making my team, and I searched for Spider-Foes, and no, there's no Spider-Foe affiliation cards for Team
Interesting.
Tactics.
I know one thing to speak on his behalf because I am his wife, and so that's what I get to do.
Sure.
I know there was a lot of chat during the stream that he went the wrong way with his team leader for X-Men, where people were arguing that Storm's whatever her affiliation was a lot better, which Dan was aware of, but he'd never taken Cyclops.
Yeah, he took the
As the
subpar
leader,
one specifically to try it out.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know that.
I think he was
nothing
trying to
went
prove
well.
to himself that he was subpar.
Right, exactly. Like you'll never know,
Right.
especially like when it's on paper.
Right.
You don't know until you try.
Well, and he had played Storm as a leader on stream too, so
Mhm.
I think that's one of the things that certainly makes our stream and stuff a little bit different. Is that we're not going try hard all the time.
Yep.
Right.
We're going for fluffy lists. We're going for unique things, and we're just trying stuff out.
Yep.
Yeah, I was kind of really excited because you never get to see Cyclops
Yeah.
play because everybody just wants because Storm
Right.
is objectively better.
Mhm.
She's one threat less. She has a better ability. She gives everybody cover essentially.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
She's just a lot better. What is his ability? I don't even know.
So he can. Anyone in that particular affiliation can draw power to use attacks from other allied characters if they are within range 3.
Oh.
Okay.
It's kind of spirit bomby,
Yeah. Okay.
like a lend me your energy type deal, except
Yeah.
there's just a lot of restrictions on it. It is really not a great affiliation ability. It is certainly the worst of the two.
I feel like
But I also have a huge hard on for Cyclops. So when I ran X-Men, I'll only use him as my affiliation leader.
fair. There's got to be a build out there for it. Like there's got to be something
Yeah.
specific
Yeah.
for it
Mhm.
where it makes sense to pass energy off.
Yeah, and I wish it was to pass energy off to like the Inhumans one. It's significantly more useful. This is
Right.
only on superpower or only on attacks while you're using those attacks.
That's so
So you
weird.
couldn't even like use it on the new Hydra Bob card to
Right.
get a loaded token quicker or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's lame.
Yeah.
Very
Oh,
restricted.
yeah. That's even more specific.
Yep.
Dumb.
So
It's dumb.
right,
It's like Wolverine was right the whole time. You know?
get out of here. We're done.
Cyclops. What a bitch boy. That's mean. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not about Cyclops, but you can leave
Always about Cyclops.
at any point, I guess.
But with that, so yeah, that was fun. Of course, head over to twitch.tv/professional casual network every Monday, 7 p.m. And if you miss it for whatever reason, just wait for it to YouTube.
Yeah.
At some point, it'll go up. By the way, we'll have a quick meeting. None of them have been uploaded yet because they're not there. The last 2 weeks. I just remembered. So I'm going to do it live on air to tape.
That's not true.
Did you just put them up?
No, I put up this week's yesterday, but that's the soonest I could.
Okay.
Weeks before
I'll
it was on there.
double look then because
Okay.
I had uploaded the ones that were all there.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. And nothing was new. So glad we had this meeting.
Go team. So what are you going to play on Monday?
I mean, we're being shoehorned into doing this other thing earlier, so we have to completely change that.
Okay.
So no idea.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to talk about that now?
I mean,
Might as well.
might as well.
Segue.
It happened yesterday as you're watching this.
Yeah.
So
That's very true. We got our hands on the Infinity War League play
yeah.
box set.
I should have brought the box down.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
The Infinity War League. Yep.
Yep.
So
It's more fun when we don't get all the names right.
Yeah, I mean,
Infinity War League.
they should be expecting us to not have this. I mean, come on.
We're right-ish.
We don't read. I literally have not read any of this.
Yeah.
If you've watched the stream, you know that we don't read.
Yeah, 100.
So
Yep.
And we're always joking. Tim, why don't you tell us all about what this actually is?
So this is actually really cool. This is a league event that has 6 brand new crisis threats, 3 blue, 3 red, all of varying threat levels.
Yeah, 15 through 20.
Yeah, which
Wild.
is super cool.
Yeah.
All of which are based around one of the Infinity Gems or Infinity Stones, depending on what chronologically you prefer,
God bless
MCU
you.
or comics, right? So effectively, the way it works is it's a 3-week league in which you are supposed to play a minimum of 1 game a week. Every time you play a game, you get to choose a gem, a sticker. You have these little slots. So you have 3 slots for Infinity Gems. Each Infinity color, each stone, time, space, mind, soul, reality, and power has 3 different powers. So, for instance, some of the really cool ones were one of the reality gem ones was once per game during the power phase, you may use this effect. Allied characters making attacks this round ignore line of sight and cover.
That's awesome.
There's a bunch of different ones. They all do different stuff. But effectively, each week you play a game. You can choose a gem power to add to your little card. Once you have 3, if you are playing more than 1 game a week, you can get different ones or cover up some of the existing ones that you have, but no more than 3 at any time.
So I will say this. They have done a very good job at designing these stickers where you could easily cut these out and laminate them, and then you would not have to stick them to your thing. So if you want to do this more than once, you absolutely could.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Actually, it'd be really neat to even just you could put that little magnetic spray or something on the back and kind of clink them in or whatever.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But so in total, there are 18 different powers that you can take. Some of them are once per round. Some of them are once per game. Some are pretty game breaking and changing. One of the mind gem ones allows you to count an enemy as an allied character when scoring victory points during the cleanup phase.
Yo.
Which is stupid rad.
That's bonkers.
These are really cool powers. The crisis threats as well. There's one kind of based off of each one of the gems. So it comes down to usually grabbing shards of a particular gem and then linking to the gem as a whole and having different abilities, whether it be teleporting from one to another or affecting other people's minds, or you roll. Yeah, you see the one where you roll a die, and pretty much if you roll anything that's not a crit, wild, or attack success, you get staggered.
Oh, yeah. So you get an additional attack this action. Otherwise, they gain the stagger special condition.
Yeah.
And I love the Mind War one where so you pick up a mind shard and then someone is holding the mind device in the center, and any enemy, if you hold the mind device, any enemy characters who hold a shard during the cleanup phase, you control them.
Yes.
crazy. Oh my God.
So this is, I absolutely adore these. I think this is going to be a super fun league to play. And honestly, I hope to continue to see us play these crisis threats.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I feel like has been, there's not many complaints that I've personally had for this game as a whole, except that there has been, the crises are stale. They're not coming out with them at the rate that I really feel they should be.
We maybe get one or two crisis a wave.
Like a set. Yeah.
If we're lucky. And more often than not, they kind of are just reskinned versions of like a few not that long
Yes.
ago. Like it might be the same mission that we had on a different map, or it might be the same map and we've just now tweaked it a little bit here and there.
Correct.
I understand that they want to make them as balanced as possible and in this structure, but I really like these because they're not that balanced. They're kind of goofy and weird and wonky. I would kind of like to see that incorporated more into the normal play, which once again I will say competitive people destroy games.
Right. Yep,
Yeah.
Normally. And that's one of the things I really like about playing with this particular group of people is we are not running net lists and deck lists and stuff like that every week.
I try, but I fail constantly.
Right. So we're still at that phase, that honeymoon phase of any minis game where everyone's trying something new. There's different stuff going on and we're having fun trying it out versus like, well, if I don't play this, I lose.
Right.
So I think
feel
this
like
game is in a good spot for that.
For you, this coming out when it did is really great because you play so frequently.
Yeah.
You're like our weekly person. So you've played every crisis multiple times. And you can only, it's like chicken breast. You can only jazz it up so many different ways.
And paprika just gets expensive
Right?
after a while. Like,
Dang.
Yeah, actually, I just did an order recently. It's actually,
yeah.
Yeah.
all seasonings have gone up by 23%.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks, COVID. It's because people can't taste anymore. That's not true.
It is probably because of COVID.
it is
People are
probably-
actually home
yeah.
cooks now.
Right, yeah.
So yeah.
Well, 100%. And just, side note, if you're curious, a box of gloves, like, or a case of gloves that has 6 boxes, $124 a case currently. So
I've had to actually touch my meat when I make food.
Yeah.
I am a little tiny boy that puts latex gloves on when he fillets chicken or makes ground beef patties, and
you are just
I've had to settle with vinyl gloves.
Ugh.
Vinyl gloves suck.
That's all I
Pretty
wear.
soon we're going to be shoving our hands into condoms and doing it.
I would like that because at least my hands touch the latex again and it's form fitting. The vinyl just is loosey goosey.
So
I don't appreciate not having the support that I was used to having with latex gloves.
We normally had vinyl because at my job we can't have latex because of allergies.
Yeah.
We can't even order the vinyl ones anymore. We have to get the polyplastic that are just the one size fits all, just like goober
Ugh.
hand.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
They're awful.
That sounds horrible.
That does sound awful.
Yikes.
You know what else is awful, Tim?
Tell us.
So in my head, I thought you were going to say not having 55-star reviews. But
No, what else is awful is the fact that I most likely will not be able to be part of what's coming up on twitch.tv/Professional Casual Network,
Right.
which is you guys are going to be running this league.
we are.
It's probably going to be a 4-person league, we're assuming, right? That's what we've decided.
Yes.
I'm saying right now, my schedule is probably not stable enough where I could make it. I finally got Mondays off, and that's probably going to last about 2 weeks. And then the schedule is going to change again. And I did not want to screw the whole round because this gets played like a round robin.
Yeah.
The league gets
With
played.
4 people, it will be a round robin.
Right.
Yep.
So super cool. Round robin. And you don't keep track of wins and losses.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to, but only in my head.
But we all get
He's got a crown that he wants to
trophies.
give himself. So
Yeah, so I was gonna offer maybe a reward to the winner of this particular league that we're going to be running on the stream, where
Okay.
whoever wins gets to take my role as the executive producer of the Professional Casual Network for a week. Mostly
Don't want that.
because I don't want to
Yeah,
edit
it's 'cause
video.
nobody
for a week
wants-
would be really nice. So
I don't want to do that. No,
whoever
thank you.
gets it, I mean, it comes with a fancy hat. You get one of those little standees. You just, don't get to have fun ever. So
that's fair.
No thanks.
it's kind of
It's a
Hard
thing.
pass.
All right.
Shucks. All right. Well, whoever gets last place has to be the executive
There you go. That's
producer for the
it.
week.
Yeah.
That sounds more accurate.
Yeah.
No, but I'm really excited for these. I personally don't want to do, people are going to get their hands on them eventually. They're going to be all over the internet at some point. So I don't really feel the need to totally jump into it. But if you got 3 cards, what is going to be your go-to extraction? What's your go-to secure, do you think?
I haven't really, unfortunately, looked over these all that particularly well. The one, I do really like the Master of Space one.
Mm-hmm.
It's an 18 threat blue crisis where there are 3 space shards.
Mm-hmm.
You score 1 victory point for each space shard that you're securing. And you can interact with them to teleport to any of the other space shards.
Right.
I really like the interplay with that because you're effectively never going to really be safe. And I like things that have drastic board movement changes very rapidly.
That's really good if you're running, especially if you're running a slow team.
Yes.
Being able to bounce around all you want.
So the ones that I see being really good for Master of Space is Criminal Syndicate.
Yep.
Or maybe an A-Force or Black Order, I think would be awesome on a Master of Space.
Yeah. And my brain, a C map that's down the middle.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really liking Mind War.
Yeah.
I think Mind War is really cool. Pick up a mind gem. Character cannot hold more than one, but during the cleanup phase, the player securing the mind device may take control of each enemy character holding a mind shard. Then each character holding a mind shard may take 1 attack with a cost of 0 or advance small, which is kind of dope.
Yes. So I really like that one as well because you not only have that kind of King of the Hill aesthetic, you do not get victory points for controlling the mind device.
No, you don't.
So it's
you just get to potentially make your opponent attack himself.
Correct.
That's how I read that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I really like the play with that one, and it's a higher threat one. It's 19 threat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I think that one's just going to be an absolute blast, and you're never really going to be out of it. That should be super swingy.
Right.
Which I'm a fan of, especially with this type of game.
Yeah, I think these are a lot of fun, and I could see them getting worked in. Obviously, they're not going to become part of the normal shuffle, but I think if you wanted to agree upon stuff, I don't see why you couldn't.
Yeah, I absolutely see us using these outside of the league, especially to keep things fresh and interesting.
I agree.
The Soul Journey one is also kind of neat. Because we're going to be doing this legit as far as actually having rosters of 10 and then 8 team tactics cards. Soul Journey, effectively, there are 4 soul fragments on the field. You interact with them to pick them up. It is you do pick them up and carry them around. But for each soul shard or soul fragment you have, your team tactics cards cost 1 less, and it does go to a minimum of 0 instead of a minimum of 1.
Right.
So things like field dressing, med pack, all you've got, things like that, being able to be played significantly cheaper kind of make those what are already normally pretty big threats even bigger threats.
Yeah.
But potentially leading to misplays of using them too early.
No matter the cost?
No matter the cost, doesn't have a...
Oh, no. Oh, right. It doesn't have a... Yeah, it does.
No, because no matter the cost, you take damage to reduce...
What's the other one I'm thinking of then?
Are you thinking of the one where you sack your physical defense to add to your attacks?
Maybe.
I forget what that was.
I thought there was one where you could spend... I thought maybe there's one you could spend energy to boost an attack. Maybe. I don't know. I don't play this game anymore.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
There certainly are a couple where you pay to add like 2 dice to your attack.
But things like...
Trip Up, also a great one.
Yeah, Trip Up or Sucker Punch.
Yep.
Stuff like that. Yeah, definitely. Or Heave Ho. Little things like Heave Ho.
Yeah.
Essentially you could potentially get a free throw out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of cool.
And the shifting reality one, so you roll a die for each reality fragment, and if you get a crit, then you can either return a previously used team tactic card to your hand, or you can choose an unused one from your roster and add it to your hand.
Right.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So having those ones waiting out there on the wings, I think that's awesome for this one.
All webbed up. You don't have to pay the energy now to do it. That's kind of neat. Smash. We could see a resurgence of Smash.
Yes. Yep. So I like Smash a lot. I think that there's a lot of really cool things you can do with it, especially if you're running size 3 or bigger characters.
Yep.
It's just very pricey. But doing something like Smash with Battle Lust, with
Light Obsession,
yes,
stuff like that.
You could really go to town on some stuff.
100%. I'm very excited. We will be having Tim, Danny, Dan, and Throwlash Gaming, hopefully.
Yeah.
Stepping up. If you had to pick 2 affiliations to bring in your roster, what 2 are you bringing? Not necessarily all 10 characters, but your affiliations.
Personally, I haven't narrowed it down at all. But I'm thinking A-Force, Avengers, Criminal Syndicate, Black Order, or Cabal.
Okay. That's interesting.
Leaning heavy into bad guys, though. So most likely Criminal Syndicate or Cabal.
Fair.
Cool.
I see a situation where I can see a lot of...
I also don't see other people probably using those, so I figured that as far as uniqueness, I'd probably be alone in it, wanting to take those.
Right. Yeah. I could see a situation also with people taking X-Men, people taking Brotherhood, because you have potentially 4 leaders there.
Gives you a lot of
options.
A lot of options.
Yep.
I know Throwlash was saying he wanted to do what did he want to do?
I don't know.
Probably something wonky like
Wakandans.
no affiliations and just taking big beefy guys.
Yeah.
No, last time we played and we were doing the Ultron scenario, before we decided on that, he was saying that he wanted to run Wakanda.
Yes.
So I wonder if he'll stick with that for this.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of cool.
Wakanda X-Men's a great pairing. Because you can have Storm crosses over, as does no one else. But
Storm.
But Storm,
leader.
I mean, Storm's leader of X-Men, and you have Wakanda. Wakanda benefits from having Storm as X-Men if you need it.
I think the strongest combo is probably A-Force and Defenders.
Yeah, I would also say Spider Foes, Criminal Syndicate. There's a lot of crossover there too.
They do, but Spider Foes sucks.
Yeah, well, they're not a full team yet.
Right.
They're still short 2 people. They have no tactics cards.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
And I will say, over the last couple weeks on stream, I'd never tried out Green Goblin before, and I got to play him a couple times, and actually really liked him a lot.
Yeah,
like a lot.
He's a lot of fun if you can get the energy on him, and I just never play aggressive with him. I don't know why I don't. I just never do.
Yeah. I've never gotten Trick or Treat to go off. I never have enough energy on him.
Yeah, I don't know what it is that I can't produce energy on him.
Yeah.
But I just can't.
I think it's very counterintuitive, like to get your characters into danger to get the power. Like it's so like you are taught in every tabletop game, like you want to avoid getting hit as much as possible. But with this, yeah.
And he's also a lot more terrifying when he's flipped. So a lot of the time, like when I've used him against Tim just ignores him. Tries to ignore him as much as possible until he throws Black Dwarf into him and then caps him and then flips him. And then he'll just gangbuster him as quick as he can to prevent me from being able to do anything.
Yeah.
So just shooting through some of the gems, what are some of the gems that you think that would be kind of like super takes for you? The big one for me right out of the gate is the very first time gem one. Once per game during the power phase, you may take the priority token. I feel it's like an almost
stealing priority is crazy.
Brooder.
Yes.
It's a brooder. What that means. I kind of like once per round, when allied character makes an attack, it may increase the range of the attack by 1 to a maximum of 5. That's a space gem.
I did see that one too.
I mean, once per round?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? I mean,
I think people's immediate thought is like, oh, I can turn a melee attack into a size 3 one. I think the biggest one is turning those kind of clutch range 3 powers into range 4. Having Killmonger or Baron Zemo using their range 3 melee attacks to go effectively halfway across the field and then be able to continue from there is like, or Angela.
Yeah. Well, I really like the idea of Killmonger being able to do is it Killmonger or I don't know, whoever has the pounce or he has a charge. I don't know. Whatever one he's got that he needs an attack to do or whatever.
Yeah, so he's got a couple because he's got the Black Ops Strike,
right?
Which I think it's a range 3 attack.
Yeah.
Obviously normally melee, but then he moves himself within. I think it's like range 1 or 2 after the attack is resolved. So things like that, or Angela with her her, I think the sword or spear of Ichor or whatever, where, it's already range 4. To turn that into range 5, and then you advance small or move yourself within range 1 of the target after the attack. I mean, I think that those
awesome.
are great spots for that.
Beast can ambush at a 4 now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Little things like having brutal beams that were 4s, now 5s is terrifying.
And like you guys were saying, if you have like a slower list, the other Space Jam once per game during your turn, you may place one allied character within 2 of another allied character. Like significantly helps with jumping around.
Yes.
Once per game during the cleanup phase, you may choose to have one enemy character count as an allied character for purposes of scoring VPs.
Yes.
What?
Yep.
These are broken, dude.
There are certainly some of these where it's going to be like, I mean, every team is going to have to prepare to play against it.
Yeah.
Because they're just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So how do you obtain these again?
So after each game you play, regardless of whether you win or lose or not, you add 1 to your card.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we might play it a little bit differently in the streams, where I'm going to assume we'll probably be taking a gem from the start instead of getting one after our first game.
Right.
Because if we're doing round robin, only 3 rounds, we'd only get 2 gems.
Right.
I feel that kind of defeats the purpose. But yeah, some of these are really cool. And I think for me, one of the biggest things in my head that is going to be difficult to decide between are things like the big kind of game-breaking once per game ones, or do I take something that I'm going to be able to use every round? One of the power gem ones is once per round, you may reduce the cost of a superpower by 1 to a minimum of 1. It's essentially, an Avengers affiliation just all the time. Granted, once per round, but I see myself using that all the time to be able to get in that extra throw, to be able to get in that charge or something turn 1, to be able to interact with a shard round 1, and then be able to do something in addition to it later. Like, I think that there's a lot of play for things like that, but it is very hard to put that up against something like you count an enemy for your own victory points.
Right.
Like,
fair.
Yeah.
Totally fair. So yeah, I think this would be a lot of fun. I think people are going to super dig this. I think this summer we're going to see a lot more like me in Facebook posts and things like that. Cause with the restrictions lifting up and stuff like that, I think it's really cool. Speaking of something else that will most likely not come out till summer, depending on how the rotation goes, we got Domino's Card.
Yeah.
This week.
We did.
So Dan originally had said, he was underwhelmed with
for
this.
her being a 3, yes.
Yeah, for her being
she'd be a 2.
Which I would just like to point out. Last week I had said that Cable being a 5 was going to set a precedent that people would then expect things to be undervalued.
Yes.
And then Dan made that point for me in the group chat that I was just like, that was nice. Thank you for that. I think she's perfect at a 3.
I do too. I think she's in a great spot.
I think she's sitting real nice. So let's talk about it. She's got 5 health on both sides. So she's packing 10.
Yep.
Which is appropriate, I think, for 3. Medium movement. His thing was he wished she had a long movement.
I think all of us were kind of expecting her to be a long movement because I see her filling a very similar role as Black Widow, who's a long movement.
Yep.
Right.
Granted, on one of her cards, a long movement, but
I also don't think she is Black Widow, right? Like, because more often than not, if you have a long movement, you also have stealth, and she doesn't seem like a stealth person.
No.
So, but she's size 2, threat 3, 3s across the board. So she's normal human.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to me. So one of the things that we had said was you were not happy about the build of her energy with automatic pistols.
Yeah, I think that's what grounds her a little bit. I think that's what makes her a great 3.
Sure, I agree with that. But one thing I think that we both overlooked, because literally Dan and I just had this conversation before we came down here, she could potentially get 2 energy on her. Rapid fire, if she can rapid fire, she also gets an additional energy. I mean, it's yes, it's only 4 dice, so naturally it's just the worst strike she could ever have because it's 4.
If she's not moving, she can automatic pistol most likely twice and lucky shot every round.
Yeah, which is pretty brutal. pretty brutal.
Assuming you're not using anything for probability maneuvers, which I feel is really what sets her apart as a 3 instead of a 2. I don't think you can put that ability on a 2.
No, absolutely not. No way. That. Well, let's talk about probability, and then we'll go back to grenade bounce, because I think grenade bounce is actually
I'm
shining.
so excited about grenade bounce.
I think grenade bounce is the shining wizard of this card. But probability manipulation. After this character rolls a attack, defense, or dodge dice, but before, and this is most important, before the resolve critical step, it may spend any amount of energy to use this superpower for 1 energy spent. It may change. I believe that is a skull.
Yeah.
And that is a critical.
Yes.
Okay. So like it's really grainy on my head, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
So that's brutal.
Yeah.
That is literally a reality gem multiple times.
Correct.
And all she has to do is potentially spend 1 energy to do it.
Yep.
That is really
It's
good,
great.
especially with how often we roll skulls.
Right.
For us specifically, it's really good. The thing that I kind of wished it was different, though it would make it marginally worse, is instead of criticals, it was wilds. She could turn skulls into wilds, which I think would fit more fluff-wise, because every one of her attacks has a wild result.
No, rapid fire does not, or on automatic pistols. It's just on a basic hit, just like Mystique's.
Oh, is that a basic hit?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Again, I couldn't tell. I thought it was a wild. So,
yeah,
right,
so
never mind.
they haven't been doing a stellar job making sure that these are super clear when they post them to the Facebook, but they've also taken this down from the Facebook. So who knows if this is in fact the final card.
Right. Which would be very interesting if it wasn't.
Right.
But so that makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
And I like that there's the same amount of wilds as there is hits, right? On a die?
No. So there's 2 regular standard hits.
Yeah. 1
shield, 1 wild, 1 crit, 1 skull, and then 2 blanks.
So there's a very good chance that she most likely will rapid fire every turn.
Yeah. You have a like a 25% chance.
Okay, cool.
Well, I mean, per die roll or whatever, permutated.
Right.
But that's interesting. I still think it would have been more interesting fluff wise, but I am not clearly not complaining that I get to turn my skulls into explosives.
Yeah. Yes.
To criticals and have them pop.
Her other superpower, because she only has 2 superpowers, things tend to go my way, is pretty much an automatic hex for people that she's attacking or being attacked by.
Yep.
So when this character is attacking or defending, enemy characters do not roll additional dice for critical results in their attack or defense rolls. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Again, totally fluffy.
Yep.
Totally makes sense.
Something we'll forget regularly.
Oh, yeah.
Be like,
Absolutely.
she wouldn't have died, or, what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah, that is. I feel like we read this like that's really good. That's really good. But I really can't wait to watch her on the table.
Yeah.
I legitimately think this is the Angela Enchantress box set that everybody looks at Cable and everybody's like, Cable is stupid good. And then in like 3 months, everyone's going to find the counter to Cable, and then Domino is just going to be destroying everybody.
Yes.
Very much how like we finally yes, Angela's very good, but at this point everyone has figured out how to counter Angela, and nobody has figured out really how to counter Enchantress on especially when she's in the crime syndicate.
Well, and that's the thing. There aren't really counters to her.
No.
Like it's if she rolls it,
you
got to deal with it.
100%. Or if you don't spend the energy, you've got to deal with it.
Correct. Yep.
But let's talk about grenade bounce, because it is a delight.
It really is.
For 1 power.
For 1
Just
power.
1.
For 1 power, which is nuts.
Yep.
Bonkers. This character ignores line of sight, and the defending character does not gain benefit from cover. Does that mean Rocket doesn't get cover anymore?
Yes.
Okay.
That was my thought too, yeah.
Yep.
Automatic incinerate to the target.
Yes.
Doesn't matter if after the attack is resolved, the character gains an incinerate special condition.
The cheapest and longest range automatic incinerate in the game.
Right. Don't have to do damage.
Twice the range of Toads. Half the price.
She should be a 4. And then on on a wild, I assume that is.
Yeah.
On a wild, explosive. Before damage is dealt, other enemy characters within range 2 suffer 1 damage.
Yep.
Flat out suffer. You don't get to dodge. You don't get to defense.
Yep.
You are taking 1 damage.
I am a huge fan of automatic, unmitigated damage.
Yep.
I love grenade bounce.
Yeah.
I love that Deadpool can use grenade bounce with a tactics card.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that was a thing. Yeah. Wow. I am ecstatic. Sorry, I thought I was having a stroke. I am ecstatic for this character. Like, just reading this now, I realized how much more excited. And I love the model because it's just, I mean, it's literally on a tactical rock that is exploding.
And I'm super pumped Dan's going to sculpt his to look like Domino from the movie.
Yeah.
He's going to give her, yes.
I should have dibbed that. Oh, that was my plan.
I'm
But
so excited for this.
yeah, I love.
So excited.
She's my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
From the Deadpool movies. I like her. I think
Vanisher though. Like, just saying.
Fair. Okay. Totally fair.
Yeah.
But I really like her. I think I'm going to probably want to squeeze her in a lot into my teams.
The great thing is that at a 3 threat, she is someone you can throw into teams.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So that's where, and I know I heavily favor the 2s and the 3s a lot.
Yeah.
But it's because I can fit them into more things. I don't feel as confined into sticking with a certain strategy as I would with 4s, but to a higher extent, 5s and 6s.
Right.
And it's not a huge investment.
Correct.
Of what you have. Like, if she's only a 3, it's not a big deal. It's not like taking She-Hulk at a 6, where that could be almost half your point value.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Why would I take a 5-threat Cable when I can have Domino and Hydra Bob?
Right. But kinda. Yeah.
Right.
Domino and 2-point Black Widow.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is also stupid good.
You know?
Does She-Hulk really beat Toad, 2-point Black Widow, and Hydra Bob? I mean, yes. But
in the face. Hard.
But outside of that specific example.
Right. So I really like her for Web Warriors, and I don't know why. I guess just to beef up her defenses a little bit. I really like her in Inhumans.
Yes.
I think she's going to be great in Inhumans. I like her around Thanos and Death's Decree her.
Mm-hmm.
I think is also super dope. Making her grenade bounce 6 strength then?
Yep.
Yeah, which is super dope.
Bro.
Making, giving a little bit more regularity to that explosive going off, because it is a 4 strength attack and you're fishing for that wild to get that automatic damage.
So this is my other question.
It's incinerating.
Does explosive go off more than once?
No.
If you roll a wild. It's not like Pierce?
No.
Okay.
Well, and Pierce only works that way if it specifically details that it does.
Okay. I kind of thought that was the thing, but again, I don't play this game, so. I also really like her in... Like her... I mean, she doesn't benefit... Did we ever figure out if Avengers help X
I don't know.
energy? I think you're right. I don't think it does. I think that's kind of the bummer about it.
Right.
I don't totally remember. But I don't see her in Avengers all that much.
I think she fits in Cabal. That makes her builder significantly better.
Yep, 100%. I also think she is great in Storm's X-Men because now she's got cover.
Yep,
makes her a little less fluff, a little less squishy.
And then we haven't talked about Lucky Shot yet, so that's kind of.
I kind of forgot that was there. Yeah,
her big spender, range 3. 6 strength, energy attack for 3 power. Mm-hmm. The target does not gain power for damage dealt by the attack, and on a wild it stuns.
Yes.
So, while you should never really have this character anywhere near She-Hulk, this is certainly an answer to She-Hulk.
Absolutely.
This is an answer to regular Hulk. That is an answer to a lot of things that
answer to Thanos.
There aren't necessarily answers for.
Yep.
Being able to put damage on, especially to take someone out. Because it is a slightly stronger attack. Granted, it's weaker than She-Hulk's basic strike. But when you want to flip someone, to be able to do that and not put a ton of energy on them. So next round you're getting that swing back.
Right.
Those are the things where I think long term, the implementation of those types of effects are going to have a lot more higher level play based around making sure you're taking out that target with something that's also not going to power them up to wipe you out next turn.
Right. Yeah. I look at it and it's very situational.
Yes.
Like I'm only going to target it like a Thor or a Thanos or a She-Hulk or a Doctor Strange maybe. But otherwise I'm going to grenade bounce as much as possible.
Right.
You know, like it's a better range. It's a range 4 instead of a range 3. I get that incinerate. It's only 1. It's 2 power less. And I get to explode, potentially.
And I think, actually, the real sweet spot for Lucky Shot is against someone like Magneto, where you put damage on him, but every time you do, he has 2 more power to be able to use his Mystic Defense in place of his other 2. That's where you're, I think, really going to get the most bang for your buck, is on anyone with counters or steroids that help their defenses, and they can redo it whenever they just take any damage whatsoever.
Right.
Sabretooth, so he can't counterattack you and things like
that's
that.
a great point, yeah. Sabretooth not counterattacking is awesome because I've never not had it happen to me. And it usually caps my Spider-Gwen very quickly. I like, or parting, not being able to shut down Bullseye from being able to do parting shot. I mean, the greatest character in the game, obviously. So and then nothing happens on her flip side. She's exactly the same. Which I always like. I sometimes I don't get annoyed with it, but it's just like, oh no, I have to unteach myself the stuff on the front and try to remember all this stuff on the back.
Right.
Yeah.
I always like the secret surprise of like, oh, Captain America got flipped. That sucks. Oh, wait, he's unkillable now.
Right.
Or I think there's a few others where things change. MODOK obviously gets significantly worse. But some of the effects on Green Goblin, when he flips over, he can't contest things anymore, but he now has a charge.
Yep.
I kind of dig.
Yeah, he gets a lot better. And I've never been able to do it. Ever. So I really like her. I will most likely play her a ton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, and when we talk about characters that are underutilized, especially in our stream, for whatever reason, the name Black Widow comes up. But Black Widow's in almost every game.
Literally.
Like
yes.
those cheaper characters that have a clear trajectory for what they should be doing get played a lot.
Right.
There are few times when I don't want to throw Black Widow on my team.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a statement I'm going to make that only makes sense to me because I also played this character incorrectly. I see me using Domino very much like how I use Nebula.
Yes.
And that like kind of finding that one target that I need to just kind of pin and jump around and do the movement that I need to do. But she now gets to hold an objective if I need her to.
Correct.
100%.
Yep.
So I super like that kind of aspect. I kind of like both of them running together.
Yeah.
You're just running both of them at somebody is absolutely terrifying and makes you have to address it.
Yep.
I think is a lot of fun. I don't know if I like her in Guardians. I mean, nobody ever uses winging it anyway.
Right.
But I don't see why she wouldn't like winging it.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, for a turn, being able to use those winging it tokens is kind of dope.
Yeah.
So it's possible.
And that's the thing is I don't think that she has a super clear defined role, which is both a benefit and maybe perhaps not a benefit to her. She's not particularly tanky. Right. She can be super annoying to deal with. But she's not someone that you're going to throw up against a heavy hitter like Thor or something like that and have her stand long.
Right.
She's not going to be taking people out either.
Right.
Simply because most of her, 2 out of her 3 attacks are only 4 strength.
Yeah.
But you love getting that incinerate out there.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think she's someone you skirt around, maybe taking objectives, moving them around, or especially in asset collection. Crisis threats, picking stuff up, moving around, throwing the incinerate on the high priority targets, and then backing away. Yep. Because most likely she can survive a couple hits because she has a lot of luck prevention,
right,
or protection.
Yeah, Yeah, I really like her. I think she's going to be a lot of fun.
I do wish she was long movement, though. I completely agree with Dan. And I expected her to be long movement.
I would have been fine with long movement, but then I feel like she should have been a 4. Because I feel like the long, like she shouldn't be Cable. She shouldn't have a way to do everything unless she had like a bounce or a hop or something.
Mm-hmm.
If they made her long movement, made the crit thing like a 1 to 3 instead of a just flat X,
right,
and have it be any dice, not just skulls,
right,
perfect 4.
Yeah,
even with the lower damage on the attacks,
right. But again, I also don't think that characters should be designed as an idea of. I see it a lot with Star Wars Legion. The new thing that comes out is the hot new thing, and it's just better than everything else.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that here. I want characters to really represent what they are supposed to be.
Yep.
So sometimes they're going to come out and maybe they aren't going to be the best thing ever, but they are very much in character to who they are, unless you're Cable.
Right.
And she can fill a role. Like, she doesn't need to be everything on a team. Like, she has a very specific purpose that she can play.
Yep.
Like you said, pair up with somebody. That's something that you have to address. You can't just ignore her.
Right.
She's just going to come around and incinerate you.
Yeah, and I mean, guarantee, getting incinerate is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
If you can pull off an explosion, she pays for herself, in my opinion.
Yes.
100%.
Yep.
100%.
They have adequately taxed incinerate. It is difficult to get, or you have to pay pretty heavily to get it, unless you're Crystal. Right. Outside that, and even on Crystal, it's a 4 strength attack, and you have to roll a wild. Mm-hmm. So they have taxed it very well, because I feel absolutely 100% unequivocally it is the strongest debuff in the game.
Yes, 100%.
Yep.
Except for maybe a stagger, but
so stagger,
yeah, but stagger's
kind of on its own tier. Like that's S tier.
I was gonna say, some would say it would be S tier.
Right.
Speaking of tiers, I happened to just slide over, and a picture that now has insanely enraged me once again has appeared on my screen. Our hopefully good friend soon, Across the Bifrost, posted yet another Tier Tuesday thing.
Yeah.
Which was the Inhumans. And I, once again, became enraged, never even reading the article itself. How dare he put Lockjaw at a B in general?
Maybe it's B for good boy.
No. Should be A, as in A, that's the best boy. How dare you? No, he put out a new roster, tier roster. Medusa at an S class? I mean, I don't know. I've never played Inhumans because I don't play this game anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't see anybody saying this. Am I insane? Am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong.
So no, early internet stuff that came out for her price, for what she does with physicality and the use of her superpower. She has a lot going on for her threat.
Okay.
She can move other people. She's got teleports. She has some of the strongest basic attacks. And she has the Angela stuff. You can't move stuff over her. You can't move over her in general.
Right.
She really is, I feel, and this might be a statement, and I'm not trying to rile you up in any way, shape, or form, but her superpowers and abilities do have the slight excessive scaling that I think you kind of transferred onto Cable. Cables are pretty basic steroids this way and that way. Mm-hmm. Hers are pretty strong overall, and on a character that costs almost half as much. Maybe that's wrong in my head. She's a 3. She might be a 4.
No, she's a 4. She's a 4. Crystal's a 3. Lockjaw's a 3. Screaming McGee's a 5.
Yes. Yep. You are right. That was a joke. So, but yeah, she's a 4 threat for sure.
And then Ronin and Beast are also there. So he tiered Ronin, Black Bolt, and Beast at C tier.
Yeah.
So nobody got D tiered.
No.
Which I thought was interesting.
No one got the D.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
What a bummer.
Right.
Somebody needs to get the D.
I completely agree.
Yes. Sadly. Maybe I overvalued Lockjaw, and I'm sure an Inhuman, because this is Inhuman specific, right? This
Right.
isn't
with a specific
a way to play.
tactic. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
I just think Lockjaw is way better than a B tier, even in other situations. But I also think he's really good outside of Inhumans. Like, I think he's better outside of Inhumans than he is.
I think the thing you need to realize too is Lockjaw, regardless of how good a boy he is, he is a support.
Right.
And it is difficult to have anyone that really primarily functions in that support role at an A or an S.
I agree, but I believe his support is stronger than most supports because he does get to move you.
Yes.
And when you need him to. It's not pushing other people away. It's not putting stun on people, right? It's
right.
He's not Shuri. He's not that support turret. Right. He is, I'm going to get you out of here. He's what I want Spider-Gwen to be.
So yes. Yeah. I could absolutely see that for sure. Yep.
And I'm also I mean, Crystal just seems like an A class just because.
Yeah, I think Crystal's solid. Long movement, 3 threat, can add pretty much any major.
And doesn't cost her any energy to do it.
Right.
And she shuts down something. She has like her only superpower. You cannot.
You can't shake.
Yeah, you can't shake around her, which I would just. I mean, I know that he did this based around one specific tactic, but that just seems good.
Yeah,
that just seems A tier to me. I'm less mad about this one than I was Defenders.
Long Dong Wong got the D, you know?
Yeah. Well, and Daredevil, which made absolutely no sense in my brain. Yep. I could not make it make any sense.
Right.
Even after I read the article. And then there's Dance Crotch. Okay.
Why do we have a picture of Dance Crotch in the chat?
I mean, why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
It's a great crotch.
It's a good looking crotch.
Jeez Louise, you're not lying.
It's Dan's crotch because he took a picture of whatever he was reading and his crotch is also in the shot. It was on his lap, I guess.
That's how he asserts his dominance.
It makes
like, here's this also.
That's fair.
My D.
It's also my D. But anything, any wish list? We haven't done a wish list in a while.
Yeah. Just a side note, I meant to bring this up earlier. I'm actually incredibly happy with the amount of female characters we've been getting.
Yes.
After the Angela Enchantress release, we got Crystal, we got Medusa, we have Sin and Madam Hydra on the way.
Yep.
Domino. They are going at a pretty good rate here, and I hope that keeps up. I hope that's not something where we just see a burst of it around A-Force is released and then it drops off. But RIP drop off.
RIP.
But I like that. I hope that continues.
Yeah. Same.
I would love to see Psylocke. I would love to see Jean Grey. I would love to see a 2-point Jubilee just so I can shit all over her.
Jubilee.
Really?
I want to Blink.
Am I the only?
Blink would be awesome. I would be stoked for Blink.
Yeah.
I think she's probably, unfortunately, way too far down the list because she's from an alternate, you know what I mean? Like, it would be. But she was in one of the movies for 2.5 seconds, but still.
Why does everybody hate Jubilee? What's wrong with Jubilee?
Oh, don't even get me started on Jubilee.
I love Jubilee.
Yeah, you like Jubilee like a mall girl likes chili fries.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I like chili fries. Yeah, what the fuck?
You and Jubilee could like chili fries together. Yeah.
Maybe it's because I, as a child, did find her stupid hot, but I don't know, man.
She does become super cool later on when she's got like a vampire baby, or she's a vampire and has an indestructible baby.
Okay. That's dope.
Yeah. She actually gets kind of cool.
Plus, I was a teenager, so she's like a teen vampire, indestructible baby mama.
Yeah, that seems
eating
dope.
chili fries.
Plus, doesn't she still shoots fireworks, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like that's dope. I don't know. I just thought that was a cool power. Just like
people thought Dazzler was dumb, but like
I love Dazzler too.
But literally, Dazzler turned from 11 to 1 is Jubilee, but people love Jubilee. I just didn't get it. I felt Dazzler deserved a lot more credit.
But Dazzler can only do lights, not
light
actual
and sound.
Explosions.
Well, yeah, of course you can.
No, isn't it just light?
It's light and sound.
Right.
She can control the intensity of, so she could turn up sound, any sound to be an explosion.
Oh.
Also, single-handedly takes out Black Bolt. One of the coolest counters was in X-Men versus
the Dazzler.
Dazzler. Yeah.
Okay.
Because she controls the intensity of sound. In X-Men versus Inhumans,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, Black Bolt's coming. There's nothing we can do. Oh, well, we have a secret weapon. It's Disco fucking Dazzler comes in. He starts to say anything. She pretty much blows up his head.
Oh, okay.
Because,
wow.
Yeah.
Gross.
She can make him do nothing or everything. Like, she is like his 100% full count counter.
Oh.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
That is actually super dope. Okay. And then, of course, there's the famous movie that never got made of the Dazzler that I so badly wish was made.
Yeah.
Which,
the 80s Dazzler movie.
Yeah, the 80s Dazzler movie. If you can find the script, it is online someplace. It was supposed to star, was it Jane Fonda?
Something like that.
Something like that. And it has Kiss, Richard Pryor.
Okay.
And then some,
R.I.P. Richard Pryor.
Yeah, R.I.P. Richard Pryor. And then some other...
Who's going to play the Human Torch?
Yep.
It's a great joke.
It's a great... bravo.
Yeah.
I feel bad about laughing at it, but it was...
Listen, he made jokes about it. He made a stand-up special based on him, around him being on fire that one time. So
you're absolutely correct. And there was somebody else like super random that was supposed to be in it. Pat Benatar maybe or something. I don't remember. But just, go read the script. It's absolutely psychotic. But I think I had one today. I was thinking about it. I was like, I had one today and now I don't remember what it was.
Do you think we'll ever get a Fantastic Four team?
Unfortunately, yes, I do.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the big, like,
we might
year 3 release, like X-Men was for year 2. I think Fantastic Four will be the release for year 3.
At time of recording, Mini Extravaganza starts tomorrow.
Right.
On release, Fantastic Four may have already been announced.
Sure. Although, so speaking of mini release, or mini extravaganza, I don't think it's going to be too MCP heavy.
Really?
Because it's Atomic Masses. They have
all
that
news.
Star Wars stuff that they have to get out. And which has already been revealed that Master Yoda has been added. Yeah. Which is super dope. People have been wanting Master Yoda for a while, and we still Dan cannot get Iceman, and he cannot get Ahsoka to save his life in any of the games he wants to play. So
poor guy.
Yeah.
No wonder. Fucking guy.
Yeah, but that crotch.
Can't get a break.
I tell you.
Right.
Makes up for it.
He still just wants Iceman, though. I mean.
Yeah, that's fair. You caress it like I do She-Hulk.
The crotch does more for me than it does for him, so.
That's fair. That's fair.
It makes you a soaking.
Wow.
Ugh. Anyway, so
Bussy.
I love Bussy personally.
God, I don't know what it is about that word. It just makes me cringe every time. Specifically, just the word.
Danny, you weren't here the last time we did what we would like to see in the game. Do you have a short list? 3 characters that you would love to see come to MCP?
So, I mean, I'm thinking like pure nostalgia. I'd love to see Rogue and Gambit because I loved them in the animated series. Like growing up with that, they were freaking awesome. I would absolutely, and like Jean Grey, like give me some more basic X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Totally,
she's coming. She's on the list of X-Men card.
Yeah,
but we just don't know when.
Right,
and probably not till apparently next year because they said they were done with X-Men after this release for the year.
Yeah,
right.
Because like I also want. I mean, Juggernaut was on that list. We don't know when he's coming. Who's the other one on that list? Oh, Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Yes.
Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
I hope
coming out at some point.
They could be considered Avengers, so they might not be an X-Men release. They could be an Avengers.
Well, technically they're Brotherhood release.
Right.
Like, I mean, they technically said we're done with X-Men.
Right.
So they could just mean the X-Men affiliation.
Yep.
Which once Domino and Cable are out,
it's complete.
They're done. That list, that card's filled. So.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch would be dope too. She would be very cool.
Yes.
I'm terrified of how, if she's a 6.
No way. She'll be a 6.
I don't know,
I mean,
man.
they make her super powerful. Who knows?
She'll be a 4. No, I very legitimately, I see them making her at a very similar strength, probably a very similar aesthetic to Enchantress.
Yeah,
she will probably have something that has a different effect based on whether you roll 1, 2, or 3 wilds. Mm-hmm. She'll probably have some of Domino's things. Maybe she can turn things into wilds. Maybe very specifically what you mentioned earlier.
Right.
having something where wilds either generate more successes or being able to pay to turn things into wilds.
Yeah.
I would go. I could see her actually with that ability that like Doctor Strange and Beast have, and Shuri, where whenever she rolls a wild, she in an attack, defense, or dodge roll, she gains a power.
Yeah, 100%.
Just playing to the chaos magic aesthetic.
I don't know. It's very interesting.
I would love to see. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I would love to see magic.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair.
that would be really cool.
Especially the movie's out. It's been out for a little bit now.
Yeah.
She would be baller. I think she'd be a lot of fun.
Yep.
New
One of my
Mutants?
favorites. Yeah.
Okay.
I really don't care about any of the other New Mutants except her. Cannonball would be fun, but just
he gets to just
blast.
he essentially turns himself into a beam range 5, and he gets to move himself at the end of that range.
Right.
And anybody within that beam just takes damage.
Yep.
No dodge,
God,
no
that would
nothing.
be
they all take
awesome.
collisions.
Yes.
For his size, +1. He has like an adamantium skeleton style ability where whenever he collides with something, it does more, and he's invulnerable while he's blasting.
Yes.
That would be cool.
He is invulnerable while he's blasting.
Yeah.
Also, piggybacking on what you were saying, just the love for how many female characters they're putting out, which is, for me, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the sculpts on these models, like, no one is like super hyper sexualized.
Right.
Like, it's not that like pornographic 90s comic book where it's like, how are you doing all this stuff in like a thong bikini? Like, everything's super, like, just normal looking for a superhero.
Speaking of, on one of the Marvel Crisis Protocol groups, someone made an awesome one-piece bathing suit with Thanos. It looked incredible.
Okay. All right.
Oh my God.
I'm here for it.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
Sweet.
Old Slim Thanos, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing slim about his Thanos, let me tell you.
Woo.
But
I would like to, shout out to a listener of the show, Scott, had made a recommendation of Bantha Ray Bill.
Yes.
Which I would love to have a Bantha Ray Bill.
So, and very specifically, he mentioned it because in the last episode I had asked, because we've been seeing a lot of new leaders for affiliations, who we thought maybe an alternative leader could be for as Guardians. And I'm shocked we did not think of Beta Ray Bill, because that was perfect. That was a perfect pick for that. Odin, I don't think will probably ever come to the game. Beta Ray Bill, though?
Yeah.
I see significantly more probable than Odin.
Is it Emma Frost? No.
Yeah.
Was the
White Queen?
No, I don't remember who. Maybe it is. I don't know. The one who also, the female that becomes Thor.
Oh, Jane Foster.
Jane Foster. That's
yeah.
I'd like to see her come in too. I think would be super dope.
That'd be
so actually,
cool.
very legitimately, that probably will be the next affiliation leader for as Guardians.
Yeah,
that makes almost too much sense.
But
she's going to be in the new movie.
I really want him. I really want. Beta
yes,
Bill.
same.
I really like. I also he is super right. Lockjaw and Beta Ray, for whatever reason, have this undying oath for each other.
Yes.
That I absolutely love. When I was reading the comics, he was just like, hold on, like they needed help, and he's like, hold on, let me call Lockjaw, and they were like, you know Lockjaw? He goes, yes, we have an undying oath to each other. And it's just like, all right, Horseface, whatever makes you happy. And then boom, here's Lockjaw out of nowhere and teleports everybody off the ship. It was super dope.
Funny.
I could see him having a passive that counts as an inhuman when interacting specifically with Lockjaw.
That would be so dope.
Oh my God.
That would be so dope. Yeah, I really, or they get like a tactics card that's just for them.
Yes.
Like he can just teleport him for free anywhere on the board. You know what I mean? Like, dope.
But so in addition to Magic this week, for characters that I would like to see, Korg and Meek as a duo pack.
Okay.
I would love, especially if they did some type of aesthetic like they did with Groot and Rocket, where Meek's a size 1 character, Korg's a size 4, and he can constantly bodyguard for free if he's near him and things like that. I think would be a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
That would be super dope. I mean, I still just always want more villains. I've and flush out some other teams and stuff like that, and just give me Stiltman.
Right.
I just want Stiltman.
My hope is that with the new Spider-Man movie getting closer and closer, maybe we'll see Vulture, Kraven, Shocker. just to be able to make shocker jokes on stream with Long Dong Wong and Slim Thanos. I mean, it just let me come full circle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? AMG.
It writes itself at that point.
Right.
You know? Yeah. But anything else before we get out of here, guys? Dan's crotch again. Why do I keep going to that photo?
I don't have that picture. What the hell?
It was.
I'm jealous. I mean, not like I need a picture, but
Just close your eyes. You see it whenever you want, baby.
Yeah.
Just one more shout out to one of the soul gems.
Yeah.
A fun interaction I would love to see on this is once per game during your turn, you may swap damage tokens on 2 allied characters.
Crazy.
In the back of my head, the way I would want to use this, someone finally gets She-Hulk just about down.
Yeah.
And then you transfer that 20 damage to your Wong or to your 2-point Black Widow and just nuke them from orbit to get She-Hulk back at full health. Terrifying.
I kind of love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal. These are brutal.
Or putting a bunch of damage on Venom right before his turn so that we are Venoms twice and heals to full.
Yeah. Oh man, that's super good. Could you potentially make yourself flip if you needed to with that as well, I wonder?
I mean, because a lot of the gems are kind of zany inherently, I'm assuming there's not going to be erratus for these, so it is just straight up you put that damage on them.
Right.
I'm sure someone will rule that you can only put damage on someone if they have the health to take it so that you would not be able to. But it says swap.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just swap.
So
Swap.
And
swap.
as we know, KOs and damage happens damage causes KOs immediately.
yes.
You gain that KO token immediately.
Mhm.
So
You gain the daze token immediately, and then, I actually...
You know
forget how...
what I'm
Yes,
saying.
yep.
it's interesting.
But I see these being a lot of fun. Another one of the Soul Gems one, and this one I don't really know how exactly this would play out, but once per game, you may choose an allied character. The chosen allied character cannot gain power this round. Choose an enemy character. While that enemy character is within range 4 of the chosen allied character, it cannot gain power. I think that's another hard counter to someone like She-Hulk.
Yep.
Mhm.
You put that on your 2-point dinger-donger and just keep them within range 4 of her. Never attack her.
Mhm.
She's not going to gain anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's super good. Wow. These will definitely, I think games are going to get pretty wild here for the next month.
Yes. Yep.
Over at twitch.tv/professional casual network every Monday at 7 p.m. Yeah, once per game during the power phase, you may use this effect. Allied characters making attacks this round ignore line of sight and cover.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Once
just
per
like-
game, you may
yeah, like-
play an opposing player's unaffiliated team tactics card.
Stupid broken.
Yeah.
Stupid broken.
It doesn't remove it from their resource pool. It doesn't.
Right.
No,
for them, but you
right.
can still
But
use
really-
it.
Just use that. That's so
Realistically,
cool.
if you bring all you've got and they bring all
Yes.
you've got, you could all
Yes.
you got 2 turns. You could med pack 2 turns. You could field dressing 2 turns.
Yep.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yep.
Absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
It's super dope.
I love the counterplay there of just like, well, I can't bring this because Tim has that stupid mind gem thing. I don't want him to double that.
Yep.
So cool.
Well, there you go, guys. Another episode. No yelling this week.
No yelling.
We kept it mellow this week.
Yeah.
You're so mellow.
So mellow. But also, Cable didn't come out and completely break my brain.
Correct.
So that worked out well too.
Yep.
Had time to marinate. Still think you're dumb and wrong, but that's okay.
I am really hopeful for a Madam Hydra panel to play before next episode. I would love to see that,
Yes.
and I would love to talk about it.
I would too. I assume that's going to be the plan,
Yeah.
unless they just
Or
swerve us.
Sinister. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get Sinister yet
Yeah.
over because he had already been announced.
Yeah.
He was already showcased. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
But well, they usually do the box. Oh no, they don't do box sets together, do they? We could get Iron Fist. We could get
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage. We could get Sinister.
Some of the other ones that have been announced on cards, we could get
Chimichanga
Elektra.
Truck.
Yeah.
We could finally find out what the hell that thing does.
We could get Elektra, Black Cat, Mysterio, Carnage, Juggernaut. I mean, there's a ton that's announced that
Right.
we haven't
Yeah.
seen stuff for yet.
And mini extravaganza's coming. They could just dump all of that on us in one night.
Yep.
Which is gonna be a lot.
Here's the good news. That's a lot of content for us to cover to keep doing this show.
Exactly.
So that's good news.
And if you're going to get dumped on, I feel like if you only get dumped on a little, it's like
why
even
bother? Yeah,
like you can't even complain about it. You know what I mean?
Like,
right.
Yeah.
I'm going to cry regardless, so I might as well get dumped on a lot.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And shame on AMG once again for delaying all those models. Everyone just got their stimmies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to have that stimmie money in May.
Yeah. Y'all fucked
I'm
up, AMG.
barely going to have it next week. So, like, what are you doing?
You fucked up, AMG.
Yeah.
You done fucked up.
I know I can pre-order. You shut up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I want it now.
Yeah.
I want instant gratification.
You know, actually, that's a good point. It could go over to beardeddragongames.online and pre-order that right now. I'm sure the link is there to be able to do that.
One could hope.
Yep.
With that being said, true believers, I have been Chuck for Tim and Danny, or Dani. Is that
Dani?
Yeah.
Anyone ever call you Dani?
No. I like
You'd be
it,
denying people on the table. That's for sure.
Oh. It's just blinking.
Yeah. I didn't actually turn the thing up. I was like, oh, that's probably not the air horn.
But
yeah.
And we didn't have to apologize to anything.
No, we didn't.
That's it. That's all I got. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next week, probably, with a ton of extra information.